Hi guys and welcome to Crazy Pepper Revenge. This channel is all about crazy true stories, stuff that happens in real life when things get a little bit messy, people dealing with drama, cheating, lies, breakups, and even revenge. Some stories are wild, some are emotional, but all of them will keep you watching. If you like real talk and real situations, you're in the right place. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stick around. This is Crazy Pepper Revenge, where the stories get spicy.
Guess I found my wedding gift. Cheating witch.
I should have thrown you out the second you crawled into his lap. Funny how this little thing saved me from marrying absolute garbage. I was 30 when everything I believed in came crashing down around me. Mia was the same age. We'd known each other since we were 24, first met at a mutual friend's birthday party downtown. I noticed her from across the crowded room, mid-laugh, and there was an undeniable magnetic pull. She radiated this incredible energy that seemed to light up the entire space around her. That evening ended with the two of us on a quiet balcony, completely lost in deep conversation about our dreams, the movies we loved, the places we longed to explore, and what we hoped life would become. From that point forward, I was completely and utterly hers. We became an official couple not long after that magical night, moved in together within a year of dating. Everything felt like it was falling perfectly into place, at least from my perspective anyway. Mia had a much more active and vibrant social life than I did, but I never saw it as a real problem. I thought we balanced each other out absolutely beautifully. I offered stability and peace, while she added genuine excitement and unpredictability to our relationship. Just last year, I asked her to marry me, completely certain she was the one I'd spend the rest of my life with. She cried happy tears and said yes without any hesitation. From there, we jumped headfirst into all the typical wedding preparations. Visiting venues, sampling cakes, and debating small details like the necessity of an open bar. I truly thought we were building our future together, brick by brick. Turns out I was completely blind to the truth. It all began to fall apart because of something seemingly trivial and innocent. A gift bag, just a small glittery one, sitting innocently on our doorstep. I wasn't supposed to be home then. My shift had wrapped up earlier than expected, and I wanted to surprise Mia with a nice dinner. But when I got to our doorstep, I saw it sitting there ominously. A shiny little bag with a handwritten note attached. To the wildest bride-to-be. Every moment was unforgettable. Love, Tasha. At first, I didn't think much of it. Tasha had been Mia's best friend since college. Loud, unpredictable, and always a bit too much for my taste. But fiercely loyal to Mia, and that loyalty was enough for me to put up with her constant presence. Mia used to joke that the two of them were the ultimate fun duo, but something about that note felt wrong. It didn't sit right with me at all. I took the bag inside and left it on the counter. I stared at it for a while, unsure why it unsettled me so much. It was probably harmless, but why did my gut feel so tense? Eventually, I caved. I told myself I wasn't snooping. I was just curious. It was out in the open anyway, right? Right inside were the standard bachelorette items. A plastic tiara, a glitter-covered sash that said bride's last ride, and enough confetti to make a mess for weeks. But at the bottom, I found something that made my stomach absolutely churn. A pair of men's underwear. Not new, clearly used. I tried to convince myself it was a prank or some tasteless joke. Then I noticed a flash drive buried under all the glitter. I don't know what made me check it. Maybe the underwear was already too much of a red flag. There was something about the whole package that felt fundamentally wrong. I plugged it into my laptop. There was only one file on the drive. I opened it, not knowing my life was about to change forever. The footage started innocently enough. Mia and her friends were at a club, packed into a booth, laughing and toasting with drinks raised high. The camera panned across to show Mia wearing her tiara and sash, looking absolutely beautiful like always. But there was something wild in her demeanor that I'd never seen before. Like she wasn't just partying, but actively escaping from something or someone. Then came the next segment that made my blood run cold. Mia was on stage at a nightclub, dancing provocatively with a shirtless performer while her friends shouted encouragement and clapped from below. I tried to keep calm and rational. It's a bachelorette party, I told myself firmly. Things get a little crazy sometimes, but then she pulled the dancer by the hand and led him off the stage toward a private back room. I paused the video immediately. My pulse was racing uncontrollably. I wanted desperately to believe it was a joke, or just some over-the-top fun that didn't mean anything. Maybe nothing serious happened. Maybe it was all just for laughs and show. But deep down in my gut, I already knew exactly where this was heading. The next part confirmed every horrible suspicion. Now, Mia was lounging in a VIP section, drinking heavily and flirting shamelessly with 3 different men. At first, it looked playful enough, maybe harmless. Then, one kissed her passionately. She didn't stop him or pull away. She kissed him back with obvious enthusiasm. Then another joined in eagerly. By the end of the clip, she was taking all three of them toward a hotel room. And then came Tasha's voice, loud, giddy, and narrating like she was filming a personal highlight reel. Mia, you're a freaking legend. Bride of the year, baby. I sat in complete silence, utterly numb. My chest felt completely hollow. Who was this person in the video? This wasn't the woman I'd held for years as she fell asleep watching cheesy romantic movies. This wasn't the same person who once cried genuine tears of joy just talking about raising kids together someday. This wasn't the Mia I thought I loved and knew. Later that evening, Mia came home acting like absolutely nothing had happened. She kissed me casually on the cheek, asked about my day with fake interest, and raved enthusiastically about Tasha's latest wedding decor ideas. I played along perfectly, smiled when expected, nodded at appropriate moments, pretended everything was totally fine. But, internally, I was already completely gone. I kept asking myself obsessively how I could have missed this side of her. Were there obvious signs I ignored? Had I just been willfully blind? Or was this truly the first time she'd done something like this? I didn't know for certain, and at that point, I honestly didn't care anymore. The next morning, Mia was up early, getting ready for work as usual. She kissed me gently on the forehead before heading out the door and said sweetly, "Can't wait to see you tonight, babe." I smiled back convincingly and said, "Yeah, me too." The absolute second she walked out the door for work, I sprang into immediate decisive action. No coffee break, no hesitation whatsoever, no sitting around wondering what to do next or second-guessing myself. I yanked my old duffel bag from the closet and began throwing essential things inside frantically. Clothes, bathroom stuff, laptop chargers, anything that fit quickly and cleanly. I wasn't planning any kind of return trip, so I didn't waste a single second deciding what mattered and what didn't matter anymore. I honestly didn't care about the couch, or the expensive blender, or the flat-screen TV we'd saved up for. She could keep every single item we'd bought together over the years. Let her have the entire apartment and everything in it. I just desperately needed to be somewhere else immediately. Anywhere else but here in this suffocating space. I pulled out my phone and started frantically searching for a place to go immediately. I didn't want some generic chain hotel. It would feel too sterile, too real, too close to normal life. I needed quiet space, somewhere I could actually breathe and think straight. That's when I stumbled across a small lakeside lodge about 2 hours away. It wasn't luxurious by any means, but it looked peaceful, and they still had rooms available. That was literally all I needed. I booked a full week on the spot, paid completely in advance, and didn't even flinch at the cost. Before leaving forever, I grabbed a folder off my desk, the one that held all our carefully organized wedding paperwork. No way in hell was I footing the bill for a ceremony that was never going to happen now. The venue was first on my priority list, so I made the call while heading out the door. "Hi, this is Ryan," I said, trying my best to sound casual and normal. "I need to cancel a wedding reservation." There was a long pause. Then the woman on the line spoke with that overly sympathetic tone people use when they're about to deliver bad news. "Oh no, I'm so sorry to hear that. May I ask why?" I wasn't about to pour my entire life story into a phone call with a stranger, so I gave her a soft, practiced lie. "Plans changed unexpectedly. That's life, right?" She rattled off various policy terms and cancellation fees. "That's perfectly fine," I interrupted. "Just cancel everything." The drive felt completely surreal, like I was operating on pure autopilot. My hands were physically steering, but my head was stuck on that flash drive, replaying every single second of what I'd seen. Halfway to the cabin, I stopped at a gas station for snacks and water. While paying, I felt my phone vibrating insistently in my pocket. I didn't need to look to know. Of course it was her. My phone showed over 20 missed calls when I finally checked. The texts started out relatively calm. "Hey babe, where'd you go? You didn't say anything? Everything okay?" Then they got increasingly frantic. "Ryan, where are you? Why is your stuff gone? Are you all right? What's happening?" And finally, pure desperation. "Please just talk to me." "I don't understand what's happening. Please." I didn't write back a single word. Instead, I called my parents immediately. When I told them I'd left Mia and the wedding was completely off, my mom just said softly, "All right, honey, want to tell us what happened?" I gave them the extremely light version. She wasn't who I thought she was. My dad didn't miss a beat. "You did the right thing, son. Better now than after you say I do." I wasn't going back. Not for tearful apologies, not for crocodile tears, not even for so-called closure. But there was one thing I absolutely couldn't shake from my mind. Tasha. She wasn't just a passive observer in that video. She was the puppet master orchestrating everything. That footage wasn't some accidental party clip. It was completely deliberate, a keepsake she was genuinely proud to have captured. I downloaded a burner app and messaged her directly. "Hey, it's Ryan. We need to talk about Mia. Tomorrow noon, coffee shop on 7th. She replied in under 5 minutes, clearly confused and concerned. The next day, I drove into the city and waited patiently outside the coffee shop. She walked in right on time. Hot pink blazer, absolutely absurd heels, sunglasses indoors like she was dodging paparazzi. Pure Tasha energy. I took the seat directly across from her at a small corner table. Let's skip the act entirely. I know exactly what happened at the bachelorette party. Her expression immediately stiffened. I leaned in closer. The flash drive, the video, the garbage you left outside our door. I saw absolutely all of it. She tried desperately to play it off as typical party stuff. I showed her a saved screenshot. Mia, bride of the year. Don't feel guilty. It's your last chance to be free. She went completely pale, tried deflecting blame. I didn't make her do anything. She's an adult who makes her own decisions. That broke my remaining patience. I slammed my hand hard on the table. You think I'm just going to forget she hooked up with 3 random guys because it only happened once? I stood up slowly. You're already in it, Tasha. And believe me, people are going to see exactly who you really are. I walked out without another word. Back at the cabin, I knew exactly what had to happen next. I had to tell Mia's parents the complete truth. Her family always gave off this prim and proper energy. I never felt fully accepted until we got engaged. But once the ring was officially on Mia's finger, everything shifted dramatically. The next day, I drove to their house. Janet opened the door with obvious nervous relief. Oh, Ryan, thank goodness Mia's been a complete mess. I stepped inside. I came here to explain everything. The wedding's off because of what she did at her bachelorette party. I handed Janet my phone. She watched in growing shock, then passed it to Henry with trembling hands. This is what she did, I said. She didn't just cheat. She made a spectacle of it. Janet sobbed uncontrollably. I don't understand. I don't know who she is anymore. Henry paced angrily, fists clenched. We didn't raise her to be like this. Janet begged me to keep it quiet. That's not my job anymore, Janet. How people hear about this is up to you now. The fallout came fast and brutal. I contacted Rachel, another friend who'd been there. She claimed she didn't know it went that far, that Mia kept saying marrying me felt suffocating. By week's end, the story had spread through their entire social group. Mia became a walking scandal. Then came the inevitable breakdown between her and Tasha. Tasha finally exploded, telling Mia, "You were into it the whole time. Stop playing the sufferer." After everything, Janet and Henry cut Mia off completely when she wouldn't take responsibility. She ended up bouncing between couches, lost her job, rented a tiny room, scraped by with part-time work. What shocked me wasn't just how hard things hit her, but how fast everyone walked away. She'd torched every meaningful relationship and was left completely alone, picking through the ashes of her former life. Meanwhile, I was successfully putting my life back together piece by piece, each passing day feeling like one more step further from the complete wreckage she had left behind.